This is the Less Insurance Dependence podcast show with my good friend Gary Takas and myself, Narain Arul Raja.
We appreciate your listenership, your time, and most of all, we appreciate your intention to reduce insurance dependence in your practice. Our goal is to provide information that will help you successfully reduce insurance dependence and convert your practice into a thriving and profitable dental practice that provides you with personal, professional, and financial satisfaction.
Welcome back to another episode of the Less Insurance Dependence podcast. Today we are diving into something that comes up all the time: how to attract more patients who prefer fee-for-service care. I'm Don Adisha, your co-host for this episode. We're talking about those patients who value quality, trust, relationships over just what their insurance covers. And who better to unpack this than Narain Arul Raja, CEO of Equa Marketing and longtime advocate for helping practices reduce their dependence on insurance. Narain, let's start there. Why is it so important for dentists to attract more fee-for-service patients today?
Thank you, Don, for having me. I'm really, happy to be here. And I think that's a great place to start. Why is it so important for dentists to attract more fee-for-service patients? Let me be blunt. Half of Americans do not have an insurance plan, which means half of Americans, literally 150, 170 million people, have no insurance plan. So there's a huge market that a lot of dentists are ignoring. So that's one reason. The second reason is when you are in the fee-for-service game, it's kind of like running a restaurant that is not, soup kitchen where the food is free, right? Think about it. If you're a PPO practice, the mindset is it covered by insurance? Then I'll have it. If it's not covered by insurance, I don't want to have it. Imagine, you work in a soup kitchen all day long, and the only reason they come there is because the food is free, right? It's not very fulfilling, right? You went to school to really become the best dentist you can be, to really make people healthy, create beautiful smiles. For those who are just coming there because it's free, all those, motivations you have to becoming a dentist doesn't matter. You're not free, I don't care. I'm not going to come to you, right? It's kind of like, imagine, somebody going to Tijuana to get dentistry. The only reason they're going there is because it's cheap, right? They're not going there for quality. They're not going there for any kind of, expertise. They're just going there because it's cheap. So I really think that alone, from a psychological perspective, is a really strong reason for every practice owner to aspire to take care of people who are willing to appreciate them by paying a fair fee for that, right? That's what we call fee for service. And also, you gain freedom, right? You can choose your material. When you get paid full fees versus 50 cents on the dollar, you can hire the best labs. You can pay your team better. You can spend time talking to your patients to get to know them. Why? Because you have full fees to take care of them, right? Otherwise, you do $1,000 worth of dentistry, you only get paid half. So you have to somehow make do with half of the revenue, all your expenses. So what do? You make your people work harder. You pay them less. You try to, get the cheapest lab because you can't afford, the high quality labs. You can't afford the best materials. I mean, is that why you went to dentistry, dental school, to be the worst or the lowest common denominator dentist? Or you went there to be the best, always taking continuing education, always investing in technology. So a lot of personal reasons, I'm finding there's a huge movement of dentists who may not go all the way to fee-for-service, but who are getting rid of the worst plans, the plans that pay them pennies on the dollar, plans that don't even cover the expenses, and starting to only work with one or two really good plans and the rest of fee-for-service patients. And like I said, given that half of America doesn't have any insurance, again, there's a huge ocean that nobody is fishing in that you can also fish in. So for those reasons, I see a huge number of people moving more and more towards fee-for-service, Don.
Right. And that makes so much sense, Narain. I mean, when it comes to marketing, however, what kind of messaging actually speaks to those patients who prefer fee-for-service care?
I think a lot of dentists, unfortunately, have been in the PPO world, so they don't understand half of the world lives outside of the PPO world. So they get so conditioned to thinking, every every human being thinks the way half of the PPO patients think, which is it free? If it's free, then I'll do it. If not, I won't do it, right? So they get conditioned, and that's not true. I mean, we pay for things out of pocket every day. We go and buy that Starbucks coffee. We go to that Costco, or we go to an organic food store because we care about our kids' health. We go on a vacation. We get Botox. We do all these things not because we have to, but because we choose to. We work hard for our money, but then we spend that money on the things that matter to us. So the number one thing you have to do is to shift your mindset from thinking, hey, I am a dentist whose worth is zero because only reason they come to me is because everything I do is free, to I am a dentist just like any other profession, a restaurant, a plumber. I'm a person who adds value in my community, and what I do is valuable. People pay out of their own hard-earned money. So just changing that mindset, I think, is where everything starts. Being confident, caring about who you are and being proud of who you are. Remember, you can't be a dentist in the United States unless you go through extensive training. You have all the credentials, you have all the accreditation, all of these things, right? I mean, there's extreme high quality that you have to meet to be a dentist here. Why not be proud of it? Why not lean into it? Why not talk about it? Why not talk about the advanced training that you get? Why not talk about the modern technology you have? Why not highlight these awesome people who you have who are not doing free dentistry, but rather, also getting paid for their work because they do high quality work and they are being appreciated in a free, fee for service model. So highlight all those things. Highlight relationships. For example, one of the best ways to highlight that is through reviews. If you are not a PPO practice that have to do double the dentistry to make the bills, to pay the bills, you can pay attention and listen to your patients and get to know them and treat them like family. Those things will show up in the form of reviews. Highlight those reviews, right? People really, really care about the relationship with their healthcare provider. Why? Because most of us know, especially once we pass the age of 30, 40, health becomes the number one thing on our list. Without health, nothing else works, right? I mean, if you don't have health, you're just working so hard to get it back versus, losing it, right? So you really can lean into the fact that you are healthcare providers. For many people, that's their number one objective, to be healthy. Focus on long-term outcomes, focus on quality, focus on even like things like, beautiful smiles, right? Some of the things that many of you can do on the cosmetic side is create unbelievable smiles. Doesn't matter where the patient came from or what their past is. You can change all that. You can give them a new lease on life, a new lease on how they see themselves. So focus on all those things you can do with your training, with your expertise, and highlight those, and really stand proud and walk tall, because you are doing something that is worth it, and not something that's just people are coming because it's free. I think it totally changes when you start thinking like any other business owner, right? Every business in this country makes money. In other words, the services they provide, somebody takes their own credit card and pays for it. You are no different, but you have so much of training and so much of knowledge. Lean into it and showcase that. Even cases, right? Like you can showcase the cases, showcase the transformation. These are all the things you can do to really start attracting those patients who want to, vote with their wallet and go to a practice that they really appreciate and value.
I really like that takeaway, Naren. I mean, when you start speaking about doubling down on the quality of care as well as the quality of relationships and just being proud of the work you do, right? It's fantastic. And I know a lot of dentists listening in are wondering, okay, but how do I actually reach these patients, right? What marketing tools or platforms really work for a fee-for-service growth?
Again, going back to the same analogy of any business that gets paid for the work they do versus, a soup kitchen that only exists because it provides free food. How do people find those businesses, right? They start by Googling it. Like, for example, I have a leak in my house and I need a plumber, and I know I have to pay a lot of money for that plumber. I go look for a plumber. I type in plumber near me on Google. Same way, like, for example, I want a beautiful smile. I might type in best cosmetic dentist near me, or, veneers zip code. Like, so I'm starting to look for the things I care about that you can do for me. Just like the way I found a plumber, or just like the way I found somebody to remodel my kitchen, I'm looking for that best cosmetic dentist. Are you showing up? Right? if you like, this is a secret, 95% of you will get no free traffic from Google versus 5% of you will get all the free traffic. Why? Because the 95% who get no free traffic then in turn give Google a lot of money in ads. So what Google does is it makes getting free traffic, source available only to a tiny pool. So are you in that top 5% that's getting 95% of the free traffic? And the way you know that is you are ranking for 100 or more keywords and phrases on the top 10 results of Google. If you're not, you have work to do. Lean in. Be the one who people are finding for all the different things you can do, and finding not through ads, but free through search engine optimization. Number two, as you build SEO, you might want to use ads as a way to kind of make up for the difference. Now, the challenge with ads is people don't trust ads. So 6 people from ads is equal to 1 person from SEO. So keep that in mind. So use it only strategically or only in the early days just to fill in a gap. And last but not least, reviews. Today, we know a lot about a particular doctor in seconds. So one of the things they will do, and studies are showing this, is they will look for your reviews. They will type in, your practice name reviews or something like that. And are you getting 10 or more 5-star love letter reviews every month? Google loves new reviews and Google loves paragraph reviews. So get those 10 or more 5-star love letter reviews. So the fundamentals that apply to any business that gets paid good money for doing good work applies to you. Are you showing up on Google and showing up for free for hundreds of keywords? And in the meantime, while SEO is building up, do you have an ad campaign knowing that ads are going to be a lot more expensive and a lot less effective? And last but not least, do you have reviews? Are you getting 10 or more 5-star love letter reviews a month? When you do these three things well, just like any other business that gets paid good money for good work, you will get paid good money for good work. You will grow the fee for service part of your business versus the insurance part of your business will continue to come down and come down.
Now, you mentioned long-term relationships earlier. I would like to get back to that actually. How can practices make paying directly feel easy and valuable for their patients?
I mentioned that half of Americans do not have a PPO plan, right? They still need dentistry, right? They still have a mouth, they still have teeth, they still need to take care of that, right? And we all know, for example, 2 cleanings a year is very, very important for anyone who worries about taking care of their oral health. We also know the connection between oral health and diseases like heart disease and dementia and so forth, right? So make that as part of a membership plan, and a membership plan that might say you get 2 cleanings per year. And that membership plan is going to cost maybe $200-$300 versus an insurance plan. Even the worst ones will cost $1,000-$1,500, right? So for $300, $400, somebody gets the fundamentals of dentistry, and it's with that one practice they love anyways. So lean into membership plan. And as part of that membership plan, you can also offer, reduced fees for other services that's outside of the core service like cleaning. So for example, they want to get some cosmetic work done, they could get 10% off, right? Now, from your perspective, cosmetic work is not covered by insurance. So pretty much that's like money you wouldn't get anyways, because most of the insurance patients don't want it because it's not covered by insurance. So you are now opening up a huge opportunity for yourself to attract all those cosmetic patients who are coming to you because they're going to save some money as well because they're part of that membership plan. So I think that's a good way to start helping people pay directly and build a relationship with you versus with the insurance company. And that's a good way to go after that half of the population who doesn't have PPO or insurance to begin with.
That's a huge opportunity, as you mentioned. Now, just before, I know you're a busy person, but just a last question here. For our practices listening in, ready to start attracting more fee-for-service patients, but not sure where to start, what should they do next?
I said, right, any service where somebody pays out of pocket, there is a methodology. Are you showing up on Google, at least 100 times? Why 100 times? That means you're going to get 95% of the free traffic looking for the kind of things you can do for your patients. Find out, book a marketing strategy meeting. So one of the things we do in our marketing strategy meeting is we spend 6 hours looking at what keywords are you ranking for? What keywords is your competition ranking for? If you're ranking for, dozens and dozens, eventually you want to rank 100 plus, that means keep doing what you're doing. If not, at least you know where you stand. And start looking at not just on regular search, also on Google Maps, how are you ranking? Also on Google AI Overview, how are you ranking? Start looking at the whole thing. So these are some of the things that we look at in the marketing strategy meeting. To book the marketing strategy meeting, go to lessinsurancedependence.com/MSM. Now, remember, there are 3 key pillars. One is SEO. So that's one of the things that we look at when you book that marketing strategy meeting. Once again, it's lessinsurancedependence.com/MSM. The other thing we look at is your website. Is it loading fast? Is it optimized properly? Is it going to convert? Is it more likely to help somebody pick up the phone and call you or not? And last but not least, we look at how you're doing with Google reviews and your Google business profile. So get a report card and a plan. So if you're doing really well as per the report card, keep doing what you're doing. If not, at least you know what the gaps are. We'll tell you what the gaps are, and we'll give you a plan on how to overcome those gaps. So looking forward to it, take advantage of this. That might be the first step. The minute you make a commitment, I want to get paid for what I do, and I want to be appreciated for what I do, start attracting those people. And they are there. They are the ones who buy Starbucks. They are the ones who buy good quality food. They are the ones who read reviews and go to a nice restaurant. They are the ones who go on a vacation. I mean, that's everyone, right? So that's pretty much the whole world. So go after the world that appreciates and wants to pay for good quality dentistry. And that's a massive world. And that'll make you, stand up tall, walk smart. And also it'll start creating a culture where everyone feels appreciated, because everyone in your office, including you, are getting paid fees for the work you do. And that's a good feeling when you are not doing free work. And the only reason they come to you, at least in the mind of the customer, is it's because it's free. So it's an awesome feeling. I know those of you who have been totally dependent on PPO, this is a new feeling. So you have to lean into it and build it. And the more you get into it, the more you will appreciate it, and the more you want to do more of it. So most of my clients, they start by dropping one plan, the worst one. And then they're like, oh man, I'm not dealing with that set of patients anymore. And little by little, their confidence grows. They drop the second plan and the third plan and the fourth plan. And when you have marketing to support you along the way, so as you drop plans, you're replacing those patients you're going to lose with marketing patients who are fee-for-service patients, who are coming to you because of quality, who are coming to you because of those reviews, those before and afters. And of course, because you keep showing up on Google again and again and again.
Well, Naren, that was incredibly insightful. I love that you highlighted how marketing isn't just about getting more patients, it's about getting the right patients who value the care that the dentists provide. To all our listeners, remember, freedom from insurance begins with clarity and strategy. Start with your foundation and everything else builds from there. Until next time, thank you very much for listening in.